I remember you gave me the criminal trespass for trying to report the theft of the food stamps.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get victims advocacy. Why would he call me crazy for trying to flee abuse like that?
Can you tell me what's going on and what you need today?
Okay, I have to talk to you because you gave me the criminal trespass to cover for the crimes at Health and Services, and that was a felony charge.
For an officer, you don't really get to pick the officer that you get now.
But you already racked up a felony with no consequences, giving me a criminal trespass, so there would be no accountability for the stolen food stamps.
That's not true.
You gave me a criminal trespass, and I could not wouldn't investigate the stolen food stamps.
What help do you need today?
I don't know why I get intimidated and bullied for trying to flee abuse. Why would the police repeatedly do that?
Because you're not answering our questions. What help do you need?
I got to get interrogated for trying to flee abuse? I'm trying to flee abuse.
So what do you need from us today to help?
I thought that I spoke with a victim's advocate and social workers and not bullies repeatedly over and over again.
This office doesn't handle victims advocacy.
Okay, well, where do you get it? Because it says that there's a department.
There is a victims advocacy. Do you have a case? They would refer you to victims.
I have several, but they won't investigate it. And like when you wouldn't investigate if an abuser can stop someone from getting food stamps, that's pretty serious, but you gave me the criminal trespass to cover for it and didn't get your felony.
That's not what happened. So.
That is what happened. I was trying to report the stolen benefits for $1,000 and that he's scamming a day to keep me from food
They
stamps.
told you that you could report it over the phone.
I have been reporting it over the phone years, forced to talk to
what do you need help
scammers.
with today?
I'm not being heard. You didn't get your felony charge. Tampering with evidence is a felony, putting me out so I couldn't
didn't
report the
do
crimes
that. What
at
do
Health
you
and
want
Human
today?
Services. I still haven't got them.
What do you want
They took
today?
the application and I haven't got a call from a
So do you
caseworker,
want
no
the number
information.
for victims advocacy?
No, I'd like to go in person. Where do I go?
I could try to find out.
Okay, yeah, but you still didn't get the response of any consequences for the felony charge of why my abuse is allowed to keep me from food stamps, fleeing for my life in a domestic violence crisis, being denied services all over the place. And then this man is lying, trying to set me up. All this for intimidation. I just don't really understand why all this is needed for a woman fleeing. Because if you're intimidating someone for trying to flee abuse and then trying to set me up, I remember you from somewhere else. Didn't you already set me up? I didn't understand why I needs all this police for intimidation for a woman fleeing abuse repeatedly over and over again, and why it's one of those things when you tamper with evidence and gave me a criminal trespass for reporting someone was able to steal food stamps, an abuser, and then successfully keep me from applying over and over again, but you never got your felony. And I repeatedly keep telling you guys, because you keep forcing me to talk to scammers, I don't want numbers, that you repeatedly keep committing the same crime over and over with no consequences. So I don't know why I repeatedly get met with intimidation and bullying and lies and slander for trying to flee abuse. With felony after felony by the police department unaddressed. I thought you set me up at Unsafe place a long time ago. I could be mistaken, but I told you if someone pulled a gun on me and immediately after we got away from witnesses, I was handcuffed and hauled off to JPS where they stole my clothes. They did it at Parkland. Stole ID, clothes, shoes, everything you could steal. Thefts are criminal, but there's been no accountability for this. I had just bought the new clothes and shoes, and then I just got robbed the other day with new items that I didn't even have a chance to wear. But each time I'm reporting it to the police, they're walking off and doing other things covering for it, which tampering with evidence is still a felony. And then trying to frame me with mental illness and making false reports is criminal. Like they did at Unsafe place. If someone is actively trying to flee abuse, why is she mentally ill? And why are you tampering with evidence to cover for it? That's a felony. If I was legitimately mentally ill, why would you commit a crime and risk a felony? Making false reports is criminal. I am reporting crimes and I'm getting ignored again. If the police is targeting me and setting up civilians in conspiracy to violate rights crimes, that's a felony. And using intimidation and bullying me year after year for trying to report abuse, that's also criminal. Intimidation and bullying for someone reporting crimes is criminal. I'm not being heard for 7 years. So this is how the mind games. So they have this criminal come back that still haven't got his felony.
Ma'am, do you want to give your name to the victim's assistance person?
Yes, it's Kiana Clark.
Her name is, can you hear her, ma'am?
What is her first? I barely heard.
Kiana Clark.
Oh, okay. All right. And did she call us?
I wanted to come in.
Hello?
I wanted to come
She
in.
doesn't want to do it over the phone. She wants to talk to somebody in person.
Oh, okay. Who's your
You know why I get all this assistance trying to flee, but can't get any
Ma'am, do you know who your
intimidation?
advocate
But
is?
I can't get law enforcement to save my life?
Do you know who your advocate is?
I don't have an advocate.
what's
Nowhere.
the police report?
Not even at the shelter.
What's the police report number?
Does she have a report number?
I just got robbed the other day, and this man has been tampering with evidence to keep me from reporting my abuser stole food stamps and scheming to keep me from food stamps in a crisis.
No, I don't
I'm
think she
homeless.
does have a report number.
And I can't even get food stamps. All these places are scheming to keep me from food. Beautiful Feet, Union Gospel Mission,
Does she not have a report?
and then 2 Walmarts. You keep on tampering with evidence. I'm trying to report crimes,
Yeah, I can't.
but you keep hiding it.
She doesn't tell me if she has a report number or not.
You're the police department. You don't see it?
Do you have a report number?
I don't know what you guys are doing because you guys keep committing crimes.
Okay.
So you're keeping me from you're scheming to keep me from a
So,
victim's
no, she
advocate?
doesn't-
You're the police department. I've made several reports. I made several reports. I made several reports.
She's not giving me a report number.
I'm talking to a police. I've made multiple different reports. I'm not being heard.
But you're not giving us a report number.
You're a police. Why are you denying me the right to look it up?
I'm
Well, then look it up. You're a police. There's your vehicle. Okay, so you're committing crimes again like you did at Health and Human
She
Services.
doesn't have the report number. She just wants
So now you're slandering me to conceal your criminal activity, making more false reports like you did at Health and Human Services to cover for a psycho being allowed to control food stamps and steal them. Then y'all tried to frame me when he's still looking at me, stalking me. Intimidation for trying to get services and flee abuse. That's criminal by police repeatedly over and over.
Would you be upset about if I gave her that address?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell her.
Okay.
Thanks, bye. The victim's assistance is located at 1100 Hemphill.
Okay, but you refused to write it down like the police did yesterday?
I can write it down.
Okay, thank you.
You want me to take you there or?
Oh, I'd love for you to take me there.
Okay. You still want me to write it down?
Yes. I still haven't been able to report the abuser stealing food stamps and any kind of other help I can get on the planet. That's criminal for him, a psycho, to be able to try to control Health and Human Services. Close the door on me while I was talking. He still claims he's going to take me there. Then they tried to frame me for mental illness, saying I was crazy. Then his line was cut, like Walmart's. But they're not racking up felonies for themselves. So he's lying and saying he can't help. They have to do psychological abuse. So that's why the police officers are there, and he has already racked up felonies for himself. Now got to be graded, and you can't have help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. But this is a repeated pattern of behavior by the police department. Mind games. How can I help myself if they repeatedly keep racking up felonies with no consequences? Insane enlisted the army full of civilians to rack up conspiracy charges of felonies to keep me from services, and then tell me I can't help myself. Then in the crisis, even trying to get something as petty as food stamps, and they're blatantly committing open felonies to keep me from them with still no accountability. and sadistic enough to give me a criminal trespass at the location to tamper with evidence and still has not got his felony. It's not safe for me to ride with the police department, but I have no other choice. I just got robbed the other day too. This is a pattern of life for me every day. I'm not safe anyway.
Ma'am, do you want me to give you a ride?
I have no other choice. I got robbed and I'm being disregarded.
Are
No,
you gonna do anything to threaten me?
no, but you have. You already racked up a felony.
Okay, you said that's not true.
You did not take the report of a psycho being able to control Health and Human Services, and I already stole almost $1,000 worth of food stamps. You tampered with evidence and gave me a criminal trespass.
Report to the Health and Human Services people, not to the police department.
How could I report it to them if you were giving me a criminal trespass for doing it?
They told you to do your business over the phone.
Dude, why would they treat me differently and want me to talk to scammers? Why would they enforce that I handle my business over the phone? I've tried 7 years and can't.
Again, man?
I've tried 7 years to handle it over the phone. It's impossible.
What's your name?
But if the police department is railroading me to speak to prearranged scammers, that's criminal. So you forgot my name and you need it again?
That's correct.
It's Keyana, Keyyana.
Mm-hmm.
Clark, Clark. And then I get cyberbullied on my YouTube channel. You guys want to investigate that? There's evidence of cyber stalking. If someone is setting up fake YouTubers and subscribers to help people conceal crimes and then use my only resource to get help to cyberbully me and mistreat me and degrade me and violate me year after year with no consequences, that's sick. There's something really suspicious with this channel that you guys refuse to investigate.
January 122.
Why I repeatedly keep getting lied on all these false reports that you guys refuse investigation for, even though it's criminal.
1100 FL, starting mile 68351.
Oh, you taking me to Hemp Hill? They gave me a criminal trespass for trying to get service there. I was just arrested from there. Are they letting me get services now? And then I think that other guy set me up another time. So that was 2 times they took my freedom at Unsafe place. So they repeatedly keep giving me criminal trespasses to enforce that I never flee.
So you can't go there?
I don't know. I don't understand why you want to investigate why I keep getting criminal trespasses for trying to get services.
You ask for a ride, you get in the road.
I don't understand why you want to investigate why I repeatedly keep getting criminal trespasses and kidnapped and different schemes to get me off course over and over with no accountability. So I don't know why you guys want to investigate why my freedom was taken 2 times at Unsafe place trying to get services, as well as New Beginnings. My freedom was taken there, and I was assaulted at a domestic violence support group. Sir, these are felonies the police department is racking up for themselves and covering up for felonies year after year. Tampering with evidence is a felony, and why don't you have the air on, sir? This is like the gang stalker did the other day. It's hot outside for you to force me to be in here with the windows up and no air. Are these repeated pattern of behavior all over the place? If you guys are allowing a psychopath to use you, something needs to be done. And then I can't even get rides from people in peace without the same pattern of behavior. Are you going to cut the air on, sir? So you're refusing to cut the air on? I do not feel any air. It is hot in here. I'm anemic and extremely cold natured. It's hot. Okay, wait a minute. Your con is the air is on, but I don't feel it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I feel it now. Yes. So I don't know what. I can't get services. They want to investigate themselves. So they want to take me to the place that they had already schemed a criminal trespass and have taken my freedom 2 times trying to get services and still haven't had no accountability. But I think that the Fort Worth court is tired of covering for them. So I don't know what's going to happen today. Sir, you're not going to investigate why I repeatedly get criminal trespasses from any kind of location that I can flee? You refuse to investigate that and the stolen food stamps. even though it's criminal for you not to. Is there any reason why you're racking up charges right now, sir? You don't want to comment on charges you repeatedly rack up for yourself? Do you think the feds want to comment? So I don't want it to be all this downtime. So I do live when I get. They won't check. They just like to spin my wheels. They have already told me when I tried to flee, you can either leave now or the police will make you leave everywhere I'm at. So what's the point of me going place to place if the police department isn't getting put under control? Scamming to keep me from hygiene packs, blankets, petty, stealing perfume, staff, and security, knowing you never believe my story. So I have to watch them do searches because they steal. Do the live when I get there. So you refuse to check and see if they're going to honor the criminal trespass that was given in corruption. You refuse to check that? So I'm fleeing abuse, and your con is this is how you treat women fleeing abuse year after year to ignore them and give them criminal trespasses for stolen food stamps? And enforce that they call on their heck phone? Defrauding them out of funds each month, calling on a device that they can't use? And in their face, we need you to call on the phone. That's not a red flag at all. So he's refusing to talk to incriminate himself or anyone else. So I'll just go ahead and wait till I get to the location. My phone's glitching. It won't let me close it. Okay, now it is.